Rain causing 2 dams to collapse overnight.
Be advised that the Sanford Dam is about to fail. Please evacuate to a safe area.
More than 10,000 people forced to flee their homes. The Michigan governor lifting COVID-19 restrictions to enable evacuations and rescues. We'll have the latest at this hour.
Reopening America. All 50 states easing restrictions this morning as the country gets ready for Memorial Day weekend. Virginia Beach invites people just in time for the holiday, but not without a warning from the governor.
I will not hesitate to reinstate Phase 1 restrictions or even close the beach outright if necessary.
Some businesses protest after learning they still can't open their doors. And the new COVID-19 hotspot in Navajo Nation that is now one of the hardest hit communities in the country.
The new coronavirus study just in. 2 big questions that could be answered. Are you immune to the virus if you have antibodies? And if you test positive for a second time, are you contagious? Plus CVS about to majorly ramp up testing across the country. The CEO joins us live.
An ABC News exclusive, the fraud alert. This morning, the FTC warning about a surge in alleged fraud during the pandemic, costing Americans tens of millions of dollars. Growing concerns over unproven cures and treatments.
Former Today Show anchor Matt Lauer takes aim at Ronan Farrow, accusing the Catch and Kill author of publishing a rape allegation against him without proper fact-checking. Farrow responding this morning.
And heroes in love. We're celebrating 5 engaged couples from across the country working hard on the front lines, staying strong for each other and all of us. After postponing their big days, this morning, their love stories and the big GMA surprise you don't want to miss.
I want you to love me now.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. It's good to be with you on this Wednesday morning. 2 big stories that we are following. That flooding emergency in the Midwest, and the last state in the country is now lifting pandemic restrictions, Robin.
And that last state is right here in Connecticut, where I am. The beginning of a new normal for us in the U.S. and also overseas. I want to show everybody a photo that just came in this morning from South Korea. That's the first day of school since the pandemic closed schools there in early March. Masks are mandatory. There are plexiglass screens on desks, daily temperature checks for students and teachers.
And so many schools here are trying to figure out what our new normal is going to look like, as now, as you said, Robin, all 50 states are now in the process of reopening. There are now more than 1.5 million cases in the U.S. In the last 24 hours, nearly 20,000 new cases, 1,600 new deaths.
But we begin this morning with that flooding emergency. Thousands forced to flee their homes overnight. Alex Perez starts us off in Chicago with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. Take a look behind me. You can see just how swollen some waterways are across parts of the Midwest this morning. Your people are struggling with problems created by relentless rain.
Be advised that the Sanford Dam is about to fail. Please evacuate to a safe area.
This morning, catastrophic flooding in the Midwest, central Michigan, one of the hardest hit areas after at least 2 dams have collapsed under the force of days of torrential rains. The roaring floodwaters easily taking down trees and barreling towards towns downstream.
Oh my God, somebody's house.
Watch as the swift rapids carry away the roof of this home like a piece of driftwood.
The dam has failed. 100% failure. Evacuate the area.
The rising waters is stretching for miles, swallowing up entire neighborhoods and forcing more than 10,000 to flee their homes.
All of that is soon to be up here. This is going to be underwater.
With downtown Midland expected to be under 9 feet of water this morning, the governor declaring a state of emergency and lifting COVID-19 restrictions to ease evacuations and rescues.
We are anticipating an historic high water level. To go through this in the midst of a global pandemic is almost unthinkable.
Since last Thursday, the Midwest hammered by heavy rains, with some areas receiving more than 8 inches, leading to flooded farms in Ohio. And in Chicago, watch as this garage swiftly fills with water, damaging almost 150 cars inside. The city experiencing its wettest May on record. A whopping 8.3 inches here in Chicago, and in some areas, the rain is not done just yet. Ginger?
Alex, they are so right. And this is after the Great Lakes had their wettest 5-year period on record. 3 to 5 inches. It's not just Michigan. These flood warnings that are represented with that red there stretch all the way down to Arkansas, through Indiana, Ohio, into North Carolina and South Carolina. Now, as this low slides up, we're going to get more rain. So you could end up with 3 to 5 inches from parts of Virginia into West Virginia. Certainly western North Carolina, you get some of that elevation. You can have flash flooding. Greensboro, Durham, all on alert today. Robin.
Okay, Ginger. Now to the latest on all 50 states that are now relaxing at least some restrictions amid concerns of new hotspots emerging. This as people get ready, of course, to head to parks and beaches for the holiday weekend. Whit Johnson joins us with the latest from New York. Good morning, Whit.
Robin, good morning to you. The coastline across much of the Northeast will be back open by Memorial Day, but beaches like this one here in New York City will remain closed. No swimming, no gathering. It's part of a complex and at times confusing patchwork of reopenings happening now in every state. All 50 states now partially open. This morning, Connecticut, the final state to ease restrictions.
I think we can proceed on a very thoughtful basis with those businesses that are least likely to be dangerous, most likely to have a real economic value for the state.
But some businesses angry over being left out. Connecticut salon owners protesting after learning they are not included in the state's Phase 1 plan.
The rug got pulled out from underneath us.
Back off! This gym goer in New Jersey arrested. The gym owner fined for ignoring lockdown rules. And multiple gyms in Washington are facing a similar fate after opening their doors against state orders.
Do business. Get with it.
Coast to coast, other states preparing for Memorial Day weekend. Virginia Beach officials inviting people to bring chairs, umbrellas, and towels to relax just in time for the holiday, but echoing this warning from the governor.
I will not hesitate to reinstate Phase 1 restrictions or even close the beach outright if necessary.
In Dallas, Mayor Eric Johnson saying residents shouldn't feel pressured to head outside if they don't have to.
Just because the economy is being reopened, so to speak, does not mean you have to rush back into going back to restaurants and things.
In New York, these flashing lights in subway cars and buses could help the city move toward reopening as MTA officials test out a new pilot program that uses ultraviolet light to disinfect mass transit.
The use of ultraviolet light in a laboratory setting has eradicated the COVID-19 virus.
But most of the city remains shut down, including its beaches. Other beaches in the state are planning to open, but this one on Long Island is only allowing residents of the county, fearing it could be overrun by people from New York City. In California, Joshua Tree National Park reopening to visitors with new social distancing rules, but some local residents are concerned it's too soon.
They're going to go in our stores, and we still have to go shopping and live.
In Colorado, the county health department warning residents to not violate public health orders after dozens gathered shoulder to shoulder on Monday at a creek in Boulder County. This as Maryland reports its highest one-day rise with nearly 2,000 new cases and the state's first pediatric death. The governor announcing the state is expanding testing capacity to people without symptoms. In the other side of the country, in California, some parts of the state have already moved into Phase 1. In LA County, the beaches are already open to some limited activity, but county officials now say that they likely won't begin their safe reopening of businesses and other facilities until the 4th of July. Robin?
So much varies across the country. Okay, Whit, thank you so much. Dr. Jennifer Ashton is going to join us now from her home. And Jen, tell us about this new study out of South Korea that says it's likely that people who test positive a second time for COVID-19 are no longer contagious. What's that about?
Very, very interesting study just released from the Korean CDC. They looked at about 285 patients who were re-positive after being discharged from isolation anywhere from 8 days to 82 days after their initial onset of symptoms. And they did two important tests, Robin. They checked the viral culture, meaning what they were able to detect from their nasal swab. None of it grew out, suggesting that those people, even though they were testing positive, were were not infectious or contagious. And then they checked their blood in a small subset and found neutralizing antibodies in most. However, some of these people did have symptoms. So right now, it's not clear whether they continue to shed virus or whether this is a reactivation, just like we see, for example, in chickenpox and shingles.
Well, is there something that authorities can learn from this back here at home as we begin to reopen the country?
Well, it may be, Robin, that this information can be used to help determine whether people who have been positive can go back to work or school. Right now, we're not using testing to help guide that, but we'll see if that evolves in the future. That's all to be determined.
To be determined. All right, Jen, thanks so much. George?
Okay, Robin, thank you. We're going to go to the White House now, and the fallout from President Trump's announcement that he's been taking hydroxychloroquine to prevent COVID-19, despite the FDA's warning that it's not proven to be safe and effective. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega has the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, George, good morning to you. Even in the face of this lack of evidence of hydroxychloroquine's effectiveness in preventing COVID, President Trump, he is not backing down. He's slamming one critical study as anti-Trump. He says the drug has become political because he's the one who's been endorsing it publicly. He also says so far he's not experiencing any side effects. But we've also now heard from the vice president yesterday who said that he is not taking hydroxychloroquine because his doctor has not recommended it. But again, George, we've got to underscore here and emphasize that doctors that we've spoken to and even the FDA warn of the potential dangers in taking this drug for COVID outside of a hospital or a clinical trial setting.
Right. Don't do anything without checking with your doctor. Meanwhile, Cecilia, Washington is also dealing with the economic fallout. The president and top officials on Capitol Hill yesterday, and there seems to be a real split developing over the next relief package from Congress.
Exactly. We're talking about the top economic policy leaders in the country. They're delivering two conflicting messages before the Senate. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, he's saying that America must get back to work if a shutdown persists. He's warning of potential permanent economic damage. And then on the other hand, you've got Fed Chair Jerome Powell, who says an economic rebound would need to include getting the virus under control and developing a vaccine so Americans feel safe returning back to work. He's also now questioning whether that $3 trillion aid package approved by Congress is enough.
Okay, Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to two of the biggest COVID hotspots outside our borders, Brazil, on the brink of disaster with cases spiking, threatening to overwhelm the hospitals. And in Mexico City, the death toll might be much higher than reported. Ian Pannell is there with more this morning. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. From the heart of Mexico City, and look just how quiet it is. You know, it's been said many times that when America gets a cold and Mexico gets pneumonia, well, this time it's hitting the country doubly hard, economically and affecting the health of the nation as the number of cases continues to grow. This morning, serious questions being raised about the death toll in Mexico. Officials reporting just over 1,300 deaths in the capital, Mexico City. But an anti-corruption group examining death certificates reports the numbers could be more than 3 times higher. Doctors here also say they're not just fighting the virus, but widespread skepticism. A community doctor saying, patients come here and I tell them it's probably COVID. They say no, the national government made that up. And further south this morning, a nation in the eye of the storm. Brazil, finding itself the epicenter of the global pandemic in Latin America. Its death toll nearing 18,000, the number of cases soaring beyond 250,000, making it now the third worst hit nation on the planet, only behind the US and Russia. Brazil's healthcare system overwhelmed. This besieged hospital just outside Rio, devoted to COVID-19 patients, now beyond capacity.
We need more nurses. It's really a war scenario.
Brazil's president continues to downplay the deadly virus, saying people are dying, but more will die if the economy continues to be destroyed by those measures. Well, Brazil just had its deadliest day, and hospitals there and here in Mexico are both struggling to cope with this rising influx of patients amid serious questions about how their governments are handling and reporting this crisis. George?
Ian Pannell, thanks. Now to an ABC News exclusive. The FTC is reporting that fraud is surging during the pandemic and is sending letters claiming false advertising to dozens of businesses who may be spreading misinformation looking to capitalize on fear. Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with the details. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. According to the FTC, COVID-19 related fraud now totaling more than $35 million and counting. Even medical officials are being accused of greed.
It can help us avoid being as sick, or if you do get sick, it's going to make it very, very, very minimal.
Authorities say this promise of a homeopathic treatment for COVID-19 at $95 a pop by Dallas chiropractor Ray Nannis is misleading and potentially dangerous.
It gives the body an immunological and a neurological recognition of the energy, of the frequency of a virus, and this specific one being the coronavirus.
The U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District of Texas recently hit Nannis with a civil complaint, calling his conduct egregious and accusing him of preying on customers' basic human condition, fear. Nannis, who has no comment about the complaint, has agreed to stop making unproven claims. The FTC and FDA recently sent nearly 100 letters warning companies about allegedly false advertising claiming to prevent and treat coronavirus.
There are no FDA-approved cures, tests, prevention mechanisms, vaccines. If someone is telling you that's what they're selling you, it's not true.
In Michigan, the FBI raided this physician's office after several employees who allegedly tested positive for COVID kept treating the elderly. Dr. Charles Mock was charged with Medicare fraud, accused of selling a vitamin C injection to treat COVID-19. Mock's attorney declined to comment, saying the matter should be settled in court. And in San Diego, Dr. Jennings Staley was charged with mail fraud in April after allegedly offering a $4,000 family package to treat COVID that included access to telemedicine, hydroxychloroquine, a tranquilizer, and even Viagra.
He presented pros and cons of this medication. He believes in this medication. He had no intent to defraud.
Bottom line, the FTC advises consumers to always consult the CDC website for information about medical treatments. It's too risky otherwise, Robin.
It really is. That's good advice there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Pierre. Well, on the heels of that, we need to switch gears and show you what a truly wonderful world it can be. Check out these second graders at the Great Hearts Archway Glendale School in Arizona. Second graders performing that beautiful rendition of the 1967 classic, What a Wonderful World, as part of a school-wide virtual concert. Isn't that something, guys?
Just
well
beautiful.
done.
Yeah, what a great song. Thank you, Robin. We are following a lot of other headlines this morning, including former Today Show anchor Matt Lauer, who's taking aim at Ronan Farrow, accusing him of publishing a rape allegation without proper fact-checking. We're going to have what Farrow is saying this morning in response.
And one of the American communities hit the hardest by COVID-19, the Navajo Nation. But first, let's go back to Ginger.
And Michael, we talked about the concern in western North Carolina. This is why they've already had 2 to 4 inches of rain. Do not do that. By the way, today, when you see a flash flood warning, don't get in the car. That's how people get hurt. You will see heavy rain with the severe storms, but there are going to be 2 pockets that actually have large hail in the high plains and isolated tornadoes down there in North Texas and the Panhandle. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, we've got to get the rainy cities, sponsored by Verizon.
When Visible set out to create the future of phone service, we tossed the stuff that wasn't working. Stuff like foot-long bills and fees from nowhere, time-wasting stores, misleading ads, unhelpful help centers, and saved the stuff that was working, like Verizon's 4G LTE network, plus unlimited data, messages, and minutes. It's a simple system. Trim the bad, make the good better, and way cheaper. Meet Visible. Unlimited data on Verizon's 4G LTE network. Just $25 for your first month. Join us at Visible.com.
Cloudy, cool, damp, and today is going to be breezy again. Temperatures starting out in the low 50s. Your high today, just 64 degrees. That's like an early April day for us. And 3 more days of unsettled weather. You've got tomorrow, you've got Friday, your best chance of rain, even the possibility of a thunderstorm, as well as Saturday with a high of 78 degrees. Drying out by Sunday, and Memorial Day looking nice. Those temperatures pushing into the mid and upper 70s toward the end of the weekend and on Monday.
We'll be right back.
You hear that? That's your weathered deck, crying for help. While you do nothing, it's inviting those geese over for target practice.